security is about all of us. Thank you very much.
And IG, before you go, we have seen the cases are aligned to do with terrorism and banditry. The question is the police well equipped to handle such situations?
Yes, police are well equipped and well trained. And equipping the police and training is a continuous process. It's a continuous process. In fact, in this institution where we are, some of the best trained officers, actually, they come from this institution. Thank you.
We have also seen cases where the public is standing against the police. Maybe is it because you are blood or what's the cause?
Not really. And that's the reason why we are appealing to the public to continue supporting the police and security sector in general, because the kind of responsibility they have is enormous for this country, actually, in ensuring that there is safety and security to our country.
Yes, Commissioner, tell us, how are you with the welfare?
That has been the police IG Douglas Kanja in Embakasi, Nairobi, where they are remembering the fallen heroes and heroines, and also has made a clarion call to Kenyans to observe safety, especially during the festive season, also remembering their fallen heroes through a veterans bill, which he says as soon as Parliament, which adjourned, is back next year, they will be looking at that. We will be getting more from my colleague Aidan, who is in that event. But in other news, the government has set up a committee to take charge in the transformation of Utalii College to ensure it is able to accommodate more students in the hospitality industry. Speaking during the 48th graduation ceremony of Utalii College, Tourism Principal Secretary John Ololtua said the committee has already started reviewing the curriculum and overseeing the construction of more facilities at the institution. Students were urged to train in the hospitality industry, which is more marketable both locally and abroad.
Across the country, but at least I'm very happy that the graduates from this college, a number of them get jobs, even in the cruise ships. Actually, we normally have some cruise ships that have been coming here to look for, for graduates to be able to be enrolled. Our airlines, our hotels, and so on. So the market is there. The council is even expanding. Very soon they'll establish another Utalii College in Narok County, which will of course be able to admit students there. We have another very big college that we are almost finalizing in Kwale County.
We are optimistic about the increasing absorption of Utalii College graduates in the job market. And we continue to work towards ensuring that these opportunities continue to grow.
We are usually offered the attachment, so that gives us the chance to be retained in 5-star hotels, and therefore we work there, and also you can get your own business openings.
Now, parents have been urged to help hone their children's talents with regulating the amount of time and type of content they are exposed to during the holidays. Speaking at Rufin International School during a play that was acted by the students, the Music Copyright Society of Kenya Chief Executive Officer Ezekiel Mutua stated the importance of nurturing children's talents at a tender age, adding that this will go a long way in shaping the world view and preparing them for the future.
And to see a school like this that is now nurturing talents and getting kids to appreciate that clean content also is important, and they can have fun, but have fun within the confines of moral values and within our culture is a very good thing. When you give them that freedom and they see that freedom is within the confines of what you as their parents believe, then you are building a future for the great content creators who are going to be rooted in our culture, our values, and our aspirations.
We believe in giving them space not only to excel academically, but also to excel in other spectrums, and this being one of them when it comes to matters enrichment program that we run as a school.
This concert is meant to be a bond between the parents, teachers, and learners.
Very well. For our next story, we cross over to the great county of Kwale, where the Water Ministry is having a busy Friday with the CS in Kisumu and the PS Fantas Kemoto accessing the Wanga Machame irrigation project in Lunga Lunga, Kwale County. My colleague Abdiaziz Hashim has been keeping tabs with what has been happening, and he now joins us from Kwale.
Well, indeed, we are coming to you live here from River Umba that powers the Wanga Machame irrigation scheme. And of course, this irrigation scheme is very expansive, over 1,000 acres in Kwale County. And of course, currently assessing the status of this irrigation scheme is none other than the State Department Principal Secretary of Irrigation, that is a CPA Ephantus Kimotho, who will be joining us just right now to tell us about the status of this irrigation scheme and how many people is set to benefit. Let's converse with the PS. PS, kindly, we are live on KBC Channel 1. If you could stand here, PS, thank you so much. You are coming here to assess the Wanga Machame irrigation scheme. In terms of percentage, how would you equate it? Is it 98% complete or 100% complete?
The project is 98% complete. Yes.
And how many people are set to benefit from this project?
This project covers around 1,200, and on average, if each person has an acre, so we're talking about 1,200 people. Yeah.
And of course, PS, through your State Department as well as the government as a whole, you have been trying to expand the irrigation schemes across the country, such as this irrigation scheme. What are the farmers set to farm at the end of the day once this irrigation scheme is up and running?
This particular irrigation scheme, the main value chain is rice. But one season we do rice, the other season we do maize. Yeah. And an acre on average you expect to produce around 2.8 metric tons of rice. Yeah.
And in terms of the various irrigation schemes we have in the country, including this one, how crucial is this one to the others?
This particular year, we have actually a target that is beginning July up to June next year. We have a target of completing 40,000 acres from the community irrigation schemes. So this already by itself gives us 1,200. We have many more, but in this particular county, this is very critical, especially in the State Department of Irrigation, because it addresses the issue of the rice value chain. As you know, currently we have a big deficit of rice. We're importing over 700,000 metric tons, and generally in this region, coastal region, we expect to reduce rice deficit by 40%, starting from the area of Tana River, where you have Bura irrigation scheme, where we intend to do an additional 40,000 acres. Then we have Hola, we also want to do an additional 10,000 acres, and also this Kwale County, this is one of them. We are doing 1,000, but we are still expanding. Yeah.
And of course, in terms of receptiveness, how have people received it? Because you know, in Kwale County, people are fish farmers as well. So here, given that it's greener, people are farming. So how receptive are the people here in terms of this project?
In this particular area, people have actually been doing a lot of rice production. It's only that they occurred a small challenge when there were floods back in 2017, and the river kind of diverted. So what our engineers have actually done, one of the first steps, is actually to build the weir that you're seeing. This is called a weir, to try and train the river back to the farms, so that now the farmers can start producing. Otherwise, the area has been before, even for the last couple of years, the area has been an area that does very well in rice production and also maize production.
And in terms of job creations, how many people are we looking at?
On average, 1 acre creates around five jobs. So you're talking about 6,000 jobs, and also we're also talking about many more indirect jobs. Because now from this rice, the first thing that will happen, there'll be the transportation element. After that, there will be the processing element. The county has a small milling plant, but now with this production, the county is expected also to even buy a bigger milling plant. So there's a lot of value chain that comes way after that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So even in terms of job creation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Aside from that, given the transportation system, we've just witnessed even the roads are better here in accessing this part of the country. So in terms of the amenities that we are likely to see flocking here to the devolved unit because of this irrigation scheme, how vital will that be to the residents?
Yeah, first, of course, we'll also work closely with the county to open up the internal roads so that it can be easy transportation for the paddy. Then we also expected, because of the milling plant, there is also the issue of increasing the need for power, because now we'll need a bigger capacity because of the milling plant will be a whole now production. Before, the milling plant did not have as high capacity as what will be expected. Because here we're talking about nothing less than 3,000 metric tons in one season, and we'll be having like 2 seasons for the same. So that alone will create a very big economy. Also, we'll be able to see very many private investors come around just because of that. Again, when you mill, there's some other byproducts which also come along with that. So we're talking about things like livestock feeds. We're talking about the broken rights. So there are quite a number of other value chains. And also one thing that also we're going to do as a State Department of Irrigation, we are also going to take the farmers for a benchmarking tour in Ahero, so that they can also see in Ahero Moya, so that they can also see how other farmers have been able to maximize the yield. Yeah, so some of them also, we're also trying to engage an agronomist. We also be working closely with the county to bring extension officers. So that's some of the issues that we'll also be looking at. We're also talking with the National Irrigation Authority, which is a state government agency under us, who have the sole responsibility of producing quality seeds. So that also they can partner with the farmers here and give them quality seeds, so they can also get a high yield. Yeah.
Thank you so much, PS. That I wish we could have conversed more. The time is running out, but we'll talk to you later on. That is the Principal Secretary, State Department for Irrigation, CPA Fantas Kimotho, just telling us about the status update of this Waga Machame irrigation system. You do know it will be very vital for the residents here in Lunga Lunga. And right now, I want to take you over all the way to Kisumu to our very own, that is Wycliffe, who is currently with the Cabinet Secretary for Water, that is Mr. Eric Muga. Over to you, Wycliffe, if you can hear me.
Well, thank you so much, Ben Troy. That is the status of irrigation. But now let's look at the status of water connectivity countrywide. And here with me is the Cabinet Secretary in charge of water sanitation and irrigation. That is Engineer Eric Muga. Straight away, I'm going to engage him regarding, actually, we are at the the launch of the strategic plan for the Lake Victoria South Waterworks Development Agency for the period 2023-2027. And straight away, let me welcome you, Banasias, to KBC Channel 1. Speak to Kenyans. Tell us about this strategic launch. What does it entail for the region and also for the country going forward?
Thank you so much. Today we are in Kisumu to launch a strategic plan for one of our agencies, Lake Victoria South Waterworks Development Agency. It is a plan for the period 2023-2024 to the year 2027-2028. It is a 5th generation plan whereby the agency is planning to mobilize resources to a tune of about 48 billion in 5 years. It is a compass. It is a chart. It is a blueprint, a map to, first of all, steer the organization that covers 8 counties. We are talking about the county of Kisumu. We are talking about the county of Migori. We are talking about Kisii. We are talking about Nyamira. We are talking about Homa Bay. We are talking about Bomet, Kericho. Total 8 counties of the Lake Basin region. This plan is meant to mobilize resources. And that's where we are all here with our stakeholders. We have with me is also the Deputy Governor. My PS is here. The Water Secretary is here. This shows the gravity of the matter in this region. We are aware that currently in Kenya, more than the connectivity, water connectivity is around 73%. And these are numbers we're trying to push up because we have an ambitious plan by the name NAWASIP, which is the National Water and Sanitation Investment Plan that is aiming to the year 2030. All these strategic plans conform to that. And all of us gear efforts towards raising resources to ensure that Kenyans have 100% connectivity by the year 2030. And also, the main challenge within the region is sanitation, which is a little bit low. Sanitation at around 17%. And we know that Kisumu is a city that is really expanding. To address that, in the morning we also had conversations with the Governor, His Excellency Professor Nyang'o, and also we agreed to have a collaborative framework whereby the national government, which is mandated in building a cross-county infrastructure, is supported by the county government. County government supports water delivery through water service providers, and these companies are managed by the county government. We have asked for strong technical teams, for proper and efficient managers in these companies, because one of the challenges that we face as an industry, apart from resources, is non-revenue water, a challenge that is cutting across the board. For example, in the region, non-revenue water is above 40%. These are conversations this strategic plan is also planning to address, because there are aspects of capacity building. There are aspects of ensuring that we collaborate between national and county governments, share knowledge, and actually have boots on ground. Like we have teams in the police, we call them non-revenue water police units. These are people who are meant to check on illegal connections. They are meant to empower county governments using the water service providers to help them monitor illegal connections.
Even as we wind up,
yeah.
Even as we wind up, recently, on Wednesday, the president has signed 3 bills. One of them is to enable water agencies to enter into partnerships with private players. What's your call upon private investors in the country regarding that, even as we end under 1 minute?
The Water Act, the ministry operates under the Water Act 2016. The Water Act 2016 did not have a provision for blended financing. We look at pipe.
We do apologize for that weak signal in regards to the interview with CS Eric Muga, the Irrigation and Sanitation CS, but in a nutshell, it's talking about a 5-year blueprint that they are working on, and they are launching it in Kisumu, and talking about 48 billion in the 5 years and encompass 8 counties. And the good thing about it is that the effort will also help. They will also rope in counties in that effort to ensure that not only Kenyans have enough and sufficient water, but also water for irrigation as well, to beef up food security in the country. Wycliffe Okech will be back with a much comprehensive and detailed report in our subsequent bulletin. But let's move on, where the church is now calling for tolerance among Kenyans. A section of bishops from the Prophetic Association of Kenya, the recent political intolerance, they might plunge the country into anarchy. The bishops condemned the chaos witnessed during a funeral in Limuru County, sub-county, where the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was attending. The religious leaders called on politicians to spread the gospel of peace and unity among Kenyans. They, at the same time, called for respect to the presidency.
We saw the former Deputy President, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, being harassed by throwing of chairs and stones by a mob. So we like to appeal to the country that we maintain peace and support the current government, because this is the government that God has given us. Let us support the outlined issues to take this government forward.
Tuna jukumu ya kuikosoa serikali, lakini tuikosoe kwa kulete suluhisho, kwa sababu sisi hakuna mahali pengine tunaangalia. Hii ndio nchi yetu, hatuwezi enda Uganda, hatuwezi enda Tanzania, hii ndio Kenya. Na hata kama kuna matatizo, tujaribu kanisa, tujaribu kuona suluhisho inaweza patikana namna gani.
My concern, right now we are experiencing political quagmires, political conflicts, divisions, misunderstandings. Darkness is hovering around this nation.
And moving on, Busia County has launched a Busia County has launched a sexual gender-based violence policy that I will be telling you all about it when we come back after this short break.
Are you thinking about your future? saving through a registered retirement benefits plan offers amazing benefits that make a difference when it matters most. A registered retirement benefits plan allows you to save up to 20,000 shillings every month tax-free. An investment income from a pension scheme is tax-exempt, meaning your money grows even faster, especially when you add the compound interest. Your retirement benefits provide a basic, reasonable income after your working life, preventing old age poverty and offering contingency funds in cases of ill health, death, or other disruptions. It acts as a safety net upon loss of employment, like during the COVID-19 pandemic, and offers financial protection to your dependents. Plus, it can cover post-retirement medical costs, one of the biggest expenses for retirees. Secure your future and enjoy your retirement to the fullest with a registered pension plan. Plan today for a brighter tomorrow. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line 0800-720-300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future. Secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Did you get any receipt?
Hapana.
Was there any acknowledgement?
Even the rest walikuwa hapo.
Kwani nyinyi mnahusika na hii kesi?
Mtu akikuitisha hongo, tafadhali ripoti kwa ofisi za EACC na tuko na toll free number 1551.
Huyu anti-corruption. Si anti wa corruption.
Huyu mzee hana huruma
na watu kama. Mimi simulisema
nikuje niongee.
Mnachukua hiyo nafasi mnaenda kulagai watu.
Kesi hii imekuja wakati mzuri kwa maana wiki ijayo tunasherehekea tarehe 9 Disemba, tunasherehekea International Anti-Corruption Day.
Na nyinyi vijana, wakati mwingine mkisikia kuna kazi imetangazwa na serikali, mfuate ile njia inatakikana. Unasikia?
So if you don't get any parts, just do the old parts. Can I get you say yo? Yes. Hi, whatever you say.
Let's begin with the concept of parenting and how it either boosts or affects the esteem of a child.
So a parent's affirmation to a child will either determine the competence and the self-worth of that child.
Yeah. We laid my mom to rest early this year. I remember whispering to her, you know, in the middle of poverty, in the middle of undecisiveness, in the middle of all that chaos that was happening in my life, that one day I'll make you proud.
If you have both parents and they have a warped esteem, watakuambukiza.
Okay. Check to see where you belong. Check to see who belongs in your circle.
KYMCA recently held their annual awards, and this is where they pick out, acknowledge and celebrate outstanding members of the organization.
I would say this time when I was doing my undergraduate, that's when I started realizing the power in me and who I am.
Education, giving out bursaries, healthcare. I made sure that you have camps.
Among that, I'm a founder of Young Women for Kenya, that's York. I'm a member of so many organizations, youth-led movements.
Your degree, you have a degree in BCom. You can do it better at home. What do you want to do here? This is a male space. And let's not talk about harassment, cyberbullying. Oh my goodness.
We have to fight to fit in amongst our male counterparts, youths. So we fight twice, as a woman, as a young woman.
Let's now cross over to Busia, where the county has launched a gender-based violence policy that will help combat cases of violence against women, girls and children in the county. According to Busia County Deputy Governor Arthur Odera, the policy aims to streamline and help in the fight against perpetrators of violence against women and girls.
12 days after the launch of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, Busia County has launched a sexual gender-based violence policy aimed at addressing challenges that promote different forms of GBV. Speaking during the launch held at St. Catherine's School in Butula Sub-County, County Deputy Governor Arthur Odera disclosed that the cases of violence against women in Busia County are on the rise, with the teenage pregnancy rate being at 19%.
Gender violence is recognized as one of the most widespread and persistent violations of the rights of women, girls, and boys. It is unacceptable, and it reminds us all of the need to redouble our efforts to address this problem.
He added that the policy will help eradicate the vices, but a concerted effort is needed to ensure full implementation of the document.
I urge every one of us in Busia County to report abuse when we witness it or hear about it. No one should feel that they must endure violence alone. And no act of abuse should never be ignored.
This comes as civil societies in Kilifi County kicked off gender-based violence training among girls and women who are among the most vulnerable group.
Na wasichana wengi na mama wengi hawana habari na hawana information yoyote kuhusiana na gender-based violence, hawajui hata commitments na sheria zenye ziko katika nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Residents who attended the training applauded the initiative, saying it has helped them to learn defense techniques and protect their families against gender violence.
Nishaona kuna makosa zaidi fulani pengine ambao tunadhulumiana mimi mwenyewe kwa mimi na bwanangu, pengine kuna makosa fulani nimeyasoma leo ambao namdhulumu yeye na pengine hajui kama namdhulumu. Na pia yeye pengine kuna makosa ambayo wanidhulumu na alikuwa sijui, na furahi sana kuwajua.
Na hizi sheria zifuatiliwe na hawa wanaofanya vitengo hivi washikwe na wapate adhabu, pengine hii hali pia itapungua katika Kilifi County.
Kasichana Masha, Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, political parties have been urged to strengthen their commitment to inclusivity and accessibility amid growing concern that persons with disabilities continue to face significant barriers in participating fully in the country's political, social, and economic life. Director at the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, Dr. Ann Diritu, says political parties must not only address the concerns of persons with disabilities, but also invest in long-term strategies that promote their full participation in society. She was speaking during the World Minister Foundation for Democracy, WFD, awarding ceremony of political parties that champion the inclusion of persons with disabilities, women, and youth in Nairobi. Tujibebe wa Kenya Party was recognized for championing championing rights of people with disability inclusion agenda, while the Kenya Africa National Union Party, that is KANU, was honored for championing the youth inclusion agenda.
Not afraid to tell political parties here and representatives that political parties must respect Article 54.2 of the Constitution. Article 54.2 calls for 5% representation. It is not just about social and economic and small things, even political. Meaning that your party organs must have 5% representation of disabled people leading political parties.
I urge political parties present here and all political parties to deepen their commitment to inclusion and representation by setting a ambitious goal for diversity. Collaboration is key. Let us all collaborate and let us strengthen partnership between political parties, civil society, government, marginalized community, and everybody who matter in the electoral space.
As we expand this and look at the data and the gap that is in the Senate, the gap that is in the electoral position and members of parliament, the gap that we are having in the county assemblies, it is important for us to strengthen democracy by ensuring that our institutions are inclusive and that people are not denied the opportunity to offer themselves in the political leadership process because of bad laws and lack of good policies that means we should be able to include those who are marginalized.
And we all know and celebrate the great work of WFD. Please let us put our hands together for WFD.
Time to make sense of business. 73% of Kenyans have relayed their dissatisfaction with the current status of the country's built environment, according to a new report by the Architectural Association of Kenya. The survey, conducted across 19 counties, indicates that consumers are calling for reforms, particularly in zoning and building regulations, to avoid the perennial issues of structural integrity and non-compliance to the construction code.
Research conducted by the National Construction Authority reveals that more than 100 buildings have collapsed since 2010. A survey by the Architectural Association of Kenya says the sector is undergoing significant changes with the adoption of green building practices and the uptake of AI forecasting improvements that have resulted in greater efficiency and streamlined processes within the industry. However, respondents noted that safety concerns over traffic disruptions, violations of permitted construction times, non-compliance with zoning regulations needed to be addressed in order to ensure accountability in urban planning and development. With efforts geared towards reaching net zero carbon emission goals by 2050, the report highlighted that there were increased number of developments earning green building certifications. In line with this, stakeholders are urging counties to incorporate sustainable practices into their building guidelines. Additionally, the Architectural Association of Kenya says plans are underway to revive the coalition of built environment professionals that will advocate for the updating of existing regulations. The association will also focus on expansion of its initiatives that will involve academia professionals who will inculcate their knowledge with partners on more greening initiatives. Ndutamo Kami for Lunchtime News.
Malindi town is fast evolving from a tourist destination into a thriving real estate market with various major multi-billion shillings projects currently under development. These new projects are giving the once sleepy town a new look, with investors, especially from Europe, flocking to the town to buy a piece of the thriving holiday metropolis. The latest project is changing the skyline of the town. Is the 5.2 billion shillings Royal Gardens project by a group of Kenyans in diaspora. Raf Kilondu, the chairman of Capital Compass Group Limited, says the project will reshape the coastal town landscape and capitalize on Malindi's growing appeal as a prime destination for tourism. The project, which broke ground several years ago, is expected to attract a high volume of tourists, enhancing Malindi's already flourishing tourism industry. At the Malindi Investment Conference, attended by local leaders, tourism experts, and real estate professionals, the project was hailed as a catalyst to economic growth in the region.
As we envision them, we require a massive investment in terms of even the growth of the international airport in Malindi, because we want to have visitors coming in without hindrance to take part in what you're trying to do as a diaspora community.
Request from the investors who have come around and the visitors that have come to Kilifi, please don't go away before seeing what Kilifi has, especially for the hotels, for the beaches, for the wildlife.
We're very excited about the Governor Gideon, that has, with his leadership and his team, has done a marvelous job promoting Kilifi, and we are very excited to be part.
Switching gears to sports, Team Flintstones were crowned winners of the 2024 edition of the Red Bull Scramble event that was held at the Uhuru Park grounds. The high adrenaline-charged competition saw Team Rickanon and Team Charlie's Devil scoop the second and third positions, respectively. The event made its debut in Kenya as the first obstacle bike event in the country, with an interesting twist. The competition attracted a total of 35 teams from all over the country, competing for the ultimate prize of 150,000 shillings. The entire course of the competition was designed to replicate a section of Nairobi City roads starting from Museum Hill.
I wanted to be a filmmaker when I was young, but I became blind, and I thought I lost my dream of, ever showing the world what I want to create. But I met this amazing team.
We built the bikes ourselves, no help from anyone else. We said, let's show that. That's our superpower. We built it ourselves. So we said we'll do it on stage, show everything, show everyone what we did. Yeah.
Interesting twist. The Safaricom Chapadimba All-Star team will leave the country on Sunday for Spain for a week-long training in Huesca. The team is currently camping at the Liguindogo grounds ahead of their departure on Sunday. The All-Star team, consisting of 32 players, 16 boys and 16 girls, scouted from across the country during the 8 regional finals held in Western, Nyanza, Rift Valley, Eastern, Coast, Central, Northeastern and Nairobi. During their stay in Spain, the team will play against Huesca's Youth Academy, attend master classes led by former professional players and utilize the state-of-the-art facilities at the base Aragonés de Football in Spain.
Mimi na feel itanisaidia pakubwa, kwanza venye tuenda Spain huku utapata timu mingi huku zitatuona, makochi wingi ambayo itakuwa ni exposure kwetu.
Spain ni one of the big countries in terms of football, na kwenda kucheza huko hivyo najua nitagain experience mzuri, nitalearn a lot of things in football na nita improve.
It was a very exciting Chapadimba season to see it culminate in this all-star team, 16 ladies, 16 gentlemen, going to Spain to be coached, to be mentored by the best of the best. We're so excited. We gathered a group of the most valuable players, which we figured out using the tech. Remember, we had the AI vests that we had given the players with all the stats, and of course the FKF scouts.
Further afield, Premier League champions Manchester City will face Morocco's Wydad in their opening FIFA Club World Cup match next year before playing Al Ain and Juventus in the other Group G matches of the 2025 edition. 2021 winners Chelsea will begin their Group D encounters by flexing their muscles against Club Lyon before playing Flamengo of Brazil and Esperance of Tunisia in the extended 32-team tournament. The 8-group tournament will take place in the United States between the 15th June and 13th July next year.
It's right across the face of the goal, and Foden slides it over the line. It broke for Alvarez. Matheus Nunes is in the right wing position. He's getting towards the edge of the area. He's in the penalty area. On it goes to Alvarez. Alvarez makes it 4-0.
Very well, that way we put a cap on KBC Lunchtime News this Friday afternoon. Many thanks for joining us. Thank you so much. My name is Bentro Njue. Brian Muraru has been our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Don't forget to check out our social media spaces for more news, including our KBC digital app. Thank you so much. Have a blessed weekend ahead.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC Online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sport, music, entertainment news, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hands. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital App in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital App.
Wewe ni mama kanisa. A mother must fight for her children.
Need to get back to the office.
I hope sijamfukuza.
Are you planning a coup? It's possible.
Have you spoken to Alice?